Hello everyone, welcome to Cellopedia, this is Maxim. Today we will continue working on Piatti method and we will work on a very short etude number 24, which is in book 2 on page 54. All Patreon Cellopedia supporters will get a chance to download a copy of this etude and also to play along with the second cello part I'm recording as a bonus for Patreon supporters. The hardest thing to master in this etude is extensions. Of course, you are familiar with extensions, but here, due to 4 sharps plus extra B sharp, you will have to use extensions a lot. First, let's go over this etude measure by measure. You start with C sharp, and this will have to be done with the 4th finger, so you can reach E right after that. The best way to tune the first note would be to start from A and make your way to C sharp. The extension happens between 1st and 2nd fingers. And once you feel that your C sharp is actually in tune, you can check it with E, the 2nd note. That's quite a big extension. You might need to turn your wrist a bit towards pinky, so you have no problem reaching C sharp. But it might be a very good idea to play first 2 notes together. This way you will get a chance to work on extra bonus exercise. After you tuned those notes, you can continue. In order to play B sharp, you will have to move your 1st finger closer to the 2nd finger. B sharp is the same sound as C natural. So this way you have only half a step between the 2nd finger C sharp and 1st finger B sharp. Then you move to the G string and you can actually keep the same position. Your 4th finger is ready to play C sharp on G string. The following note will require extension. You have to extend your 1st finger back to play E. In a 5th measure, you have time to make a shift back to B because you have an open string to use for A. Plenty of time to do it. So let's play it this way. And then right after that, you make an extension. In the next measure, you have to make a shift to the half position to play D sharp. This way you will play B sharp, which also sounds like C natural, with the 3rd finger. You stay in the same position and make sure that when you move to one string to another, back and forth, you adjust the bow angle, even so slightly. This way it will be much easier to make it to sound better. When you play this open A, take advantage of that and move back to the first position. You notice here is another instance when you make a shift while playing open string. And then shift to the half position again, to D sharp. And the last note, it's actually an interval. You need to play two notes together. And remember how we try to tune the first two notes of the etude? Well, here you will have to do it the same way, but you don't have an option, obviously, to play those notes separately when you play this etude through. Nevertheless, let's tune one note at a time. You play E with the second finger. And after you are happy how it sounds, add C sharp with pinky. And if you need to adjust the intonation, only adjust the fourth finger position. Keep the lower note the way you already tuned it. This way you have only one variable. You don't need to try to tune both notes at the same time. It might be very confusing. After we spend some time working on it, measure by measure, we will play in slow tempo quarter note 48. The tempo marking here is maestoso, and it actually tells you more about character than the actual speed. Think majestic, think big and active. In order to do it, we will stay in the lower part of the bow and we will play every separate eighth note with a little accent, making sure that there is a little space between each eighth note, unless they are connected with a slur. And now, as always, we should try to play it faster. We will use tempo quarter note 80. Your eighth notes will be slightly off string, but it's very important to make sure that the beginning of every eighth note, every separate eighth note, is done with very clear articulation. So you can hear a little bit of the accent, even though it's not marked there. Make sure that your wrist is relaxed but active. and you should feel that a lot of action is just happening by using your fingers. If you liked working on this etude and want to try to play it with an accompaniment, I hope you will consider becoming Cellopedia Patreon supporter. And as I mentioned before, I'm making special videos of second cello part for Patreons, and also I'm uploading edited cello part with some extra fingerings of everything I post here on Cellopedia. Thank you for watching and see you soon.